balance with school, and I manage a baseball team. And so a lot of my time is there. But anyways, so the A's have finally unveiled their season ticket plans for 2022. And gotta say, nobody's happy about it. The A's are one of the last teams to unveil plans, and things that I thought were positives in previous plans, which was like the access package, which allowed you to attend games inside the treehouse area and sit in the upper area of I forget what they call it, but anyway, just be above the bleachers and boxes, but below Mount Davis, whatever that seating area is called. Anyways, and then if you had like a one of those plans, you can pick the games that you go to. You weren't stuck with if you had a half plan, you could go to either weekdays or weekends, and then if you had the full season, you could go to any game. Anyways, so those are gone. Or the plans are still there. There's no access, so no more half off anything. Concessions, which was like I think the biggest thing. I mean, buying a beer for $5 or $6 was a godsend for a lot of fans, because they're like, oh, we can finally take our folks to the game. I understand, though, a lot of people probably spread it around and let people use it who weren't or should not have, and that probably cost the A's a little bit of money, but you put butts in seats on a regular basis, and there were a lot of people who were really happy about having that access package. It was affordable, gave you actual access. You could come to games, made it affordable. $10 parking was amazing. Those things are gone. And not only that, they've doubled in some cases the pricing. The lowest price was bleachers for their what they call a quarter season, which is 24 games. It's not even a quarter season. Quarter season's 40 games. I'm sorry, it's a little over 31 games. It should be. Hold on, let me do the math here. So, yeah, no, it'd be 40 games. So you don't get a quarter season. You get, you get nothing. You get 24 games, and you don't get to pick them. You don't get to pick it. They pick them for you. The ones that they wanted to pick for me, they're not games I wanted. There's as far as what I know, no fireworks games, no giveaways. I'll have to pay for those out of pocket at a higher rate. They say you get a 30% off of tickets, but I got conned into the flex package last season, and I was spending upwards of $50 a game. That's honestly bullshit. For games where I could have gone up to the gate and spent $25 on, or for the same seats, so, and then they'll sit there and tell like, well, these games are great. I'm like, no, they're they'll say the games, you're getting a great deal. Yeah, if I was going to a Yankees game where that ticket might be $60, but they only play a couple games against the Yankees, and I'm not going to all of them. So most of the games I was going to, maybe, the Rangers or the Angels, and I picked up one of the Giants games, and the Giants game was the Giants and the Yankees and the Red Sox were the only games that came close to being $50 a game. So I overpaid for those tickets, and now I'm looking at the season tickets, and we're looking at, like I said, almost a 50% increase in the bleachers. I used to have season tickets in the bleachers, and those were around $450-ish, and those are now around $850. And that quarter season package tops out around $1,600 a piece per seat. I think it was 1560 was the highest single seat. So I got to buy two seats. So on the low end, if I was buying decent seats, I'd be spending upwards of $3,200. That's ridiculous, and I wouldn't get to choose my games. I'd be going to the ones that they say I should go to, and that's not cool. The price isn't cool. Removing the access thing package, benefits isn't cool. We used to get deals on discounts again on parking, on concessions, discounts on merchandise. Even with the discount on merchandise, I could still go to Lids and buy a baseball cap for $2 less. It wasn't that great of a deal, but it made me more likely to buy something spur of the moment, maybe a hoodie if it was cold unexpectedly. If you've been to a game, you come, in the last ever, you bring a hoodie or a jacket, if you're going to a night game, because it's going to go from hot and sunny to cold and windy real fast. The other issue is, what are we getting in return? And I think that's the biggest part that people, myself included, are wondering, because there's a huge expectation that this team is exploded, blown up in the off season. Mark Canha is a free agent. I don't know if we're going to spend the money to bring him back. We still have Olsen and Matt Chapman through 2024 when they become free agents. So we still have 2 seasons with them, but we do have to give them arbitration money. So they went from making it $550,000 last season to this season making over $5 million a piece. And that's expected to go up, especially Matt Olsen. He'll probably fetch a good anywhere from $10 to $15 million in the next arbitration. And Chapman, his numbers aren't as good, but he's still going to fetch several $1 million more than what he's getting. A lot of people are clamoring to re-sign Marte and Harrison, which I think would be an amazing deal if they could do that. Instead of blowing this team up, I think they should build around it. They got a great core, but their bullpen's garbage. I already got suckered into buying playoff tickets, and there's the money I spent. I'm glad I didn't go outright and I just gave them a deposit, because if I would have gone outright, I'd be out $3,000 with nothing to show for it. And the A's are falling behind in the wild card. They're already out of first place. When I bought my tickets, they were 1 or 2 games out behind the Astros, and now they're 8 games out and 3 games out of the wild card, with 5 or 6 teams, fighting for those 2 spots. This is a real messy spot. And here I am. I already dropped $500, and I'm not going to get it back. I have to use that as credit for next season, and I don't want to. And if they blow this thing up in the off season, I sure as hell am not paying double the price for a bunch of nobodies that I've never heard of, languishing in last place. I'm not putting up with that. I'm not paying for that. I'm not going to pay for a team who's still courting Las Vegas for a stadium. I'm not paying for a team that won't sign free agents. I'm not paying for a team that won't retain the talent that they do have. I'm not paying for a team that won't make an honest run at a postseason, and won't put up. They say put up or shut up. I'm at the point, well, they haven't put up. Time to shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the explanations of, well, we got this and that. We're making these. You haven't made improvements in 2 or 3 years. You haven't done anything. We're sitting here doing the same old crap, and this year we have a worse team than we've had in the last 2 years. And you're sitting here trying to sell me playoff tickets? And that's frankly bullshit. And if you're going to sit here and now and ask fans to cough up money to send another team to Las Vegas, you're out of your fucking mind. And I wish I could tell that to Dave Cavill's face. You're out of your fucking mind if you think people are going to pay twice as much for garbage. They haven't done a damn thing to putting fans in those seats. I've said it, I don't know how many times. I said it about the Raiders, said it about the Warriors, and I'll say it about the A's. I don't give a fuck what you put up around them. I don't care how many shiny billboards and big screens you have. If you have a crap team, I'm not coming. If you have a crappy team and nobody I've never heard of and players that I'm not excited about, I'm not coming. I'm not spending my money on it. And if you continue to peddle that crap, I'm not doing it. You don't need stadiums to win championships. The Warriors won 3 NBA Finals in Oakland. In the supposed dump, they played for 4. You know, maybe they played for 5. I don't remember. My brain is skipping on me. Anyways, they won them in Oakland to pay to go to San Francisco and hang out in last place. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. You know, the Raiders just went and spent. You know, they're spending $3 billion out in the desert, and who knows what they're gonna do. You know, I'm gonna laugh if they did all that and all they do is hang out and be an 8-8 team. You know, nobody's paying for that shit. And I'll tell the A's right now, put players on that field. When you have a team that's exciting, that's to sit here and say the wild card, we've made it to the wild card 3 years in a row. Whoop-de-frickin'-do. Go to a World Series, win one, then we'll talk. Because, you know, otherwise you're saying, yippee for me, I'm runner-up. Hell, you didn't even make it to bronze, silver, or gold. You know, you made it to, you know, you placed last. You're the worst, best team. That's what it comes down to. You're the worst, best team. If you go to the wild card and lose, you know, you didn't do shit. And that is not something that fans should be happy about. And is not something we should settle for. You know, and surely when they're going to raise prices on a team that is playing in a fucking dump and not field quality players, I have no intention of putting my hard-earned money, especially right now. We're in a recession, and we were already in a recession before COVID, and now that recession is going to linger, and it's going to take people time to get that money back that they were making before. And for us to come in here and pretend like it was the way it was before and raise prices like that, it's ridiculous. Again, I already knew that this ownership was deficient, mentally deficient when it came to fielding a team, and now I know that they're deficient in running it. I've seen it in the way that they field the team. I've seen it the way that they're approaching the ballpark, and now I see it in the way that they are marketing the team. As far as I know, they still don't have a real marketing department. They canned them all last year, and I don't think they've hired anybody else. I don't know what monkey would market this team the way that they have been. I don't know what F students they've been picking up. I know they're cheapskates. They didn't want to pay their marketing department. They didn't want to pay their ticketing people. They didn't want to pay anybody. It makes it really hard to be a fan, when this is the way things are run, and they don't have any intention of selling, so I could only imagine that they want to, alienate us. That's the way I see it. There's no willingness to attract fans and, to, 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 people to buy tickets. There's no willingness to field a quality team beyond prospects in rentals. You know, there's, I mean, we couldn't even call two of the most important people that we probably needed this year, which would have been Marcus Semien and Liam Hendriks. I mean, one dude, you know, we offered some bonehead contract, basically a payment plan, put him on layaway. And then the other dude, we didn't even call him. We did not even call Liam Hendriks. And the year before, we didn't even call Blake Trinan. So this is a pattern. We didn't even try and work out deals with guys who wanted to be here. We just let them go. We just said, screw it. And we probably could have got a good deal. I don't expect the A's or any team to win a World Series every year, but I expect them, I expect them to try. XP Sports. And they haven't even tried. The first time, or the only time I've seen the Fishers go all in, quote unquote, all in, was 2014. They did away with Cespedes and Donaldson, and then they blew it. They fucking blew it, you know. And they're kind of looking the way they are right now, where they get to the end and then start falling apart. You know, this team could be good, but we keep making the same boneheaded mistakes, and we don't hold anybody accountable. There's no accountability with the A's. Zero. You know, Bob Melvin keeps making the same, let me see, prospects. We can't even put together a quality farm system. Our sister low-budget team, the Rays, can put together. Yeah, they can put together. The Rays are in the same deal, and I think they got lucky. They picked up some guys, and we've kept pushing these guys off. Go get another vaccine puppet? What does that mean? What does that mean, get another vaccine puppet? I'm not sure what that meant. Yeah, this is all pretty ridiculous. You know, again, it's making it hard to be a fan, and they sure won't be getting any more of my money until I see a change. You know, now if I in the off season, if I see them, you know, re-signing Harrison and or Marte, and then trying to re-sign Canna. I could go with or without Canna. They need to get rid of him, or need to get rid of Piscotty. Piscotty's hasn't been really contributing the last few years. Been injured more often than not. You know, we could get rid of. We can get rid of those guys. Seth Brown, not really a guy. No, it's not pretty self-explanatory. Tom Sawyer. What is it? What is a vaccine puppet? I don't understand what you're saying. That doesn't mean much of anything. So yeah, you feel like your boosters do so. Boosters do. What about it? If you're gonna come on here and rant about stuff that has nothing to do with anything else, then you can go away. And if I have any moderators here, feel free. We're talking about the A's, not boosters and vaccines. I don't know what your point is, and what the okay. I have no idea what this Tom Sawyer guy is going to do, but we'll do that right now. Put him in timeout, because we're not talking about vaccines. And if you're going to keep going that way, I'm not going to. But yeah, if they build a stadium, I mean, they'll have money. They'll have the ability to pay for things, but at the same time, they have to pay for the stuff that they're building. I you have to do something, to keep that revenue stream going. And I think, in a way, the A's are painting themselves into a corner with a new stadium because, well, I don't know what. Okay, so your big brother looks like the same guy as Tom. So Tom's talking to Tom. When the way that the A's, at least the way I see it, and Zenny would have a whole other point of view possibly, but it puts the onus on the A's to compete, and because they need to drive people into the stadiums and into the retail and the hotels and the auxiliary stuff. And the thing is those hotels and things won't come until much later. The stadium will be the first phase, and then they'll start building up around it. And in that sense, they're going to need more money fast. And so what are we talking? 20 or 30 year build out. That's when they'll have the money finally. Is because that's the way I'm looking at it. If they're taking all this money and putting it right back in, where's the money to pay for players? So that would assume that they have to be making money somewhere else. And in order to keep that all moving and to keep that tax base up, okay, well, whatever, big brother. But if you come on here and you start yapping about vaccines and all that bullshit, I will remove you. So keep it germane to the topic or be gone. Bye. Now back where I was going with, as far as the, okay, Mr. Your big brother, you're out of here. Yeah, if you're gonna sit here and do shit like that, I will shut your mouth. So we will keep putting you in timeout. But if you keep coming on here and running your mouth like a fucking idiot, I'll just keep muting you. This isn't about vaccines and shit. This is about the A's. There's nothing about vaccines. Nobody said shit about vaccines until you showed up. But you want to talk about vaccines for a second? I know a couple people died just this week who didn't have vaccines and died in hospitals. So good luck to you if you get it. If you do get it, that's on you. But go take your shit somewhere else. Go take your shit somewhere else. So, anyways, well, a lot of us like the A's, and a lot of our uncles do too. So cool. Anyways, back to the point before these idiots started trying to change the subject. The A's have to make this project work if they do it, because they have to drive in the people in order to drive the tax increment financing. It's not just going to be based on property tax, but the taxes. Oh God. So here we go. We got CD's nuts and another guy with his. It's all the same fucking guy. It's all the same fucking guy. Yeah, you can make your millions, but I'm just gonna ignore you. And that's it. Anyways, in order for this to work, they have to drive a lot of money into the project and get people to come and show up. And if you can't drive the fans to the game, what makes you think that you're going to drive people to these retail establishments or hotels or want to buy a condo? And if you can't entice the retailers or developers to want to do that, because you're putting a piss poor product out there that they may never recoup their money. They're not going to show up, and neither are the fans. And so I'm hoping that at that point the A's get their crap together and maybe hire a different management team. I don't know what Dave Kaval has to do with it, but it's silly. It's a real bad position to be in as a fan right now, because it feels like maybe if you want to call them conspiracy theorists, maybe they're right. Maybe they are trying to push out the fan base and alienate us, so that they can justify a move to Las Vegas, because everything else seems to be like they're stepping on heads just to get out of here. The way that they did the whole thing in April, and talking about their parallel paths, and then Kaval doing his tweet from the Knights game. Boston, New York, LA, besides Titans, crap. It kind of sucks sometimes when you're trying to read the things here. There we go. Boston, New York, LA, besides high attendance, they also release a lot of revenue from the local media rights. Do we even have a local? Yeah, we don't have a flagship station. We have a broadcast station, which is an AM talk radio station. Last year was another AM talk radio station. So we were on 95.7 The Game, which was an FM station, but all they wanted to talk about were the Warriors and Giants. Well, they can have that now, and I wonder how much their listenership is affected by that. You gotta wonder about these things. There's the media rights stuff. It's all through Universal, Comcast, whatever they want to, NBC. It's all the same company. So, but that's everybody. The Warriors, the Sharks, the Kings, the Giants. Everybody's on that. So, yeah, they and I also got to wonder, stuff like naming rights for a stadium. The Giants and the Warriors both just put up multi-year, $20 million a year plus. So they're looking overall around $200 million in naming rights deals a piece. Not to mention other sponsorships. If you go to like Levi's Stadium, it's Levi's Stadium, and then there's like the Toyota Gate and stuff like that. And those are big sponsorship dollars. If you go look at the Coliseum, and the A's, those half of that, they're getting some of that revenue, but there's a lot of space that's not even being used. A lot of people were talking about the ribbon banners that go along the top above between the 200 section and the 300 section. They were just blank. So instead of selling that ad space, and even Rebecca Kaplan was like, "What's going on with that? Why aren't we using it?" The A's just put more of their own ads there. So I don't know if they paid money into that, or if the JPA got any of that benefit from that, or if they just put up their own ads. Did they ask anybody else? When I look at, say, Yankee Stadium, and I look at their outfield, I mean, the entire outfield wall is just plastered with ads. And I look at the A's, and I'm like, there's some random airline that flies to Norway or something, and then a couple little things. Sorry, there's a fly around here, like DeWalt or something. There's a couple smaller ads, but there's not nearly the ad space that they could. The Ring Central deal, it's only a couple $1 million. It's not a big deal. It's small time when it comes to naming rights deals. We don't even have a naming rights deal for the arena, but there's no reason to, because for what? A concert in a monster trucks or something. I don't know who's coming there. They've been doing a lot of concerts. Actually, I saw a video a couple days ago from a big festival in the parking lot. I thought that was pretty cool. A lot of people outside the stadium, not inside the stadium, which was really weird. But yeah, I get it. Anyways, the whole point of this was the A's did their season ticket, and it's garbage, steaming hot garbage, and there's no reason to even be to buy them at this point. If I do decide that I will do it, it will be post-season and probably later on, hopefully after December, when I'm hoping they have a new collective bargaining agreement. It expires on December 1st, and there's a very good possibility that the players, the season doesn't even start on time. It's a very good possibility that the players strike. There's a lot that can come out of this. So I wouldn't want to put my money there. And the A's, they don't want to give refunds. Even with the postseason, they wanted the money, but they said no, there's no refunds, which technically there's no such thing as a non-refundable deposit in California. All deposits are refundable, but they want to hold it as a credit for next season. And what if there is no next season? What if there's what if there's a strike? What if the season starts late? I wouldn't want to put my money into that. That's a silly thing to do at this point when you don't really know what's going on. They have an incentive if you sign up. I believe October 1st. They'll give you a suite. Whoop-de-doo. That's one game. Yeah, it's a great value. It's hundreds of dollars for a suite, but they'll give you a suite and a replica Matt Chapman jersey, and I'm wondering if it's just a bunch of leftover giveaway jerseys from 2018. And you just have to wonder. I'm like, some of this stuff just doesn't make sense, and the marketing there is backwards. Again, you can't choose your games; they choose them for you. Prices have doubled. Minimum for a quarter season, it's not even a quarter season, it's a 1/8 of a season, is it's $850 for it's $840 for bleachers, and it tops out around $1,600 for some of the plaza level, but that doesn't include like the diamond level, I don't think. Like the really prime seats behind home plate and such. Some of us were supposed to be given discounts because we carried over from 2019 to 2020, and then we didn't get to play in 2020, so it was supposed to be carried over to 2022, and I didn't see any mention of that discount. So yeah, it seems like they're pulling the rug out from a lot of fans, and it's going to bite them in the butt. But I'm hoping that maybe they'll do something to justify the increase. And again, I'm hoping it's I'm paying for a stadium in Oakland and not in Las Vegas, and hopefully I'm paying for star players to get re-signed and free agents to be attracted back into Oakland. And if it's not, they're not getting anything from me. I might show up to a game or two, but definitely won't be buying a whole season ticket package. Anyways, guys, it's been 35 minutes, and yeah, next time we do one of these, trying to keep the conversation about the topic at hand, and leave your crazy people vaccine garbage to your own accounts and your own MySpace or WeChat or wherever the heck you live, because apparently you haven't paid any attention to what's going on in the real world. I mean, come on. Get with it.